Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we begin the news at 6 with an eyebrow raiser after a Stafford family is struggling to wrap their heads around the video they saw last night outside of their house. Thanks for staying with us on this Friday night. I'm Stephen Reels. But before we show you the video, we do want to warn you it may be disturbing to some viewers. So just a little context to that. Let's take a look. A naked man was caught on camera running away from their house with a knife in his hand. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson has reaction from the family and neighbors. Take a listen.
Aside from this being a fairly busy back street, neighbors tell me Prospect Road in Stafford is pretty quiet. But that all changed Friday when a family heard their doorbell go off early in the morning, and they were shocked at what they saw on the camera.
I got a little nervous because I'm thinking to myself, who's ringing my doorbell at this time of night?
It's a terrifying moment caught on camera. A naked man walks up to this family's porch, then runs away, all while holding a knife.
It woke me up out of a sound sleep, my doorbell ringing. So I got out of bed and I slowly made my way into the living room. And before I looked out the door, I looked out the window and I didn't see anybody. So that's when I checked my cameras and I couldn't believe what I saw. You know, a naked man, and he clearly had, you know, some kind of weapon in his hand. And I just called 911.
The mother, who wants to remain anonymous, says the man was spotted on her camera just before 1 a.m. The man stood on the front porch for about a minute, then he ran away. State police say they found the man later in the morning. They say there was no criminal aspect to the incident and had him taken to the hospital for evaluation. The mother says she doesn't know who the man is.
I think he was not in his right mind, you know, drugs or mental illness, but yeah, something was not right with him. My dog was going crazy, and he's not a big dog, he's a little dog, but he was barking so much, and I wonder if that might have scared him off.
The mother says her two teenagers were also home at the time of the incident.
They were like terrified. They were traumatized. They were so scared. And originally, one of my daughters wanted to come downstairs and open the door to see who it was. I always try to tell my girls, you know, make sure you lock the door. And this was like, you know, her huge learning lesson for them. Doors have to be locked at all times.
The mother says she's had problems before in the neighborhood, but in 10 years of living here, she's never felt unsafe.
One time my car got broken into, but I've been there for 10 years, and that's really the only thing that's ever happened to me anyway. So I really feel safe there.
Even though she still feels secure, she believes it's in her family's best interest to follow up on the incident.
Find out, you know, at least maybe who it was. You know, I want to keep myself and my kids safe. I don't want to have to worry about him returning.
The mother says she believes this incident emphasizes the importance of having cameras around your house because she wouldn't have known what happened otherwise. In Stafford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Thank you, Jamel. And we continue to follow breaking news from upstate New York, where a tour bus crashed this afternoon. Our sister station in Buffalo just received new details on the incident and say 24 people right now are in the hospital and 2 people are in surgery at this moment. Now, we don't know how many people have died, but officials are calling this a mass casualty. Crews are working to free those who are still trapped at this time. New York State Police say they believe the bus was traveling from Niagara Falls to New York City. Officials just confirmed 52 passengers were on board the truck, including 3 children. They say the bus somehow lost control, veered into the median, and then rolled over.
It's a full-size tour bus, heavy amount of damage. It did roll. Most people, I'm assuming, on the bus did not have a seatbelt on. That is the reason why we have so many ejected people on this bus. But like I said, the bus is extremely damaged. So given the possibility that this bus at least rolled through the highway portion and then came to rest in which would be the south shoulder of the 90, significant damage. And obviously this bus was going full speed. It did not hit any other vehicle. It basically lost control from the median on.
Again, it has not been confirmed at this time how many people have died or how many people are injured. Now, once we do learn more, we will give you an update later in the show. And Shelton police have arrested a former high school teacher on sexual assault charges. Investigators say Jason Kimmer of Beacon Falls had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl while he taught and coached at Shelton High. Police say Kimmer called the victim recently and told her to do the right thing. Right now, he faces charges including sexual assault, risk of injury to a child, and tampering with a witness. Kimmer is out on a $50,000 bond, but he is due in court on Monday. And a Rhode Island man faces serious charges in Putnam. Police say Gerald Hill turned himself in Wednesday after learning about a warrant for his arrest. Now, that warrant comes from a sexual assault investigation, which first started back in November 2023. Hill was charged with second-degree sexual assault, and he posted a $125,000 bond. He's due in Danielson Superior Court on September 3rd. And a contractor is working at Yale Golf Course who later died after he came into contact with a down electrical wire Thursday evening. Officials say a tree fell during a storm, and that tree brought the wire down. Yale and United Illuminated extended their condolences to the victim's family. The investigation is still ongoing at this time. And tonight we're hearing from the family of a gruesome homicide we told you about last summer. 2 people were found inside a burning car in Oxford. 36-year-old David Rivera and 39-year-old Carlos Calderson, both men, lived in Hartford. No suspects are in custody. But tonight, Fox 61 Celine Arif spoke with Rivera's sister about how she wants her brother to be remembered.
It's been more than a year since David Rivera was found in a burning car just off of Route 34, not too far from Lake Zor behind me here. And while investigators are still working this case, his sister wants everyone to know there is so much more to his story than this tragedy. Gladys Rivera is holding on to pictures.
So when he was younger.
And memories because she can't hold her baby brother ever again. On May 30th, that chance was taken away from her family forever.
Family guy, he loved to joke, he loved to dance, he loved football. I believe he's been playing football since he was like 6.
Rivera says her brother David loved football almost as much as he loved his 2 daughters, Star and Nova.
And then when she became a teenager, he actually got her started on flag football. So she was doing that last summer.
Last summer, his daughters should have been making more memories with their dad instead of losing him like this. The medical examiner's office says he died of a gunshot wound to the head. His family has no idea why he was killed.
And he was a great mechanic. Anybody will call him if you needed help on the side of the road, a tire, brakes. He would go to your house and help you. It didn't matter what time, he would try to help you.
Now Rivera is trying to help him by keeping his memory alive every day. It's a job no big sister ever imagines taking on. She posts tributes to her brother on social media, keeps the celebrations going for his birthdays,
July 21st.
and makes sure that people don't forget her family hasn't found justice yet.
The detective, he'll inform me that it's still an ongoing case, but that's all he says. Everything else we just don't know.
While she doesn't know when her family will get answers to the questions that have haunted them for more than a year, she's certain her family won't lose hope, waiting for their day of justice.
Our family doesn't want his, his name to just be just a homicide. Like, he was loved, he was cared, he loved his daughters. We all love him, we all miss him, and we all want answers.
The Western District Major Crime Squad took over this case last year. Investigators urge anyone with information, no matter how small it may seem, to contact them. Reporting in Monroe, Celine Air, Fox 61.
Thank you, Celine. All right, let's bring in meteorologist Sam Sampiri right here. We're going to be talking about Hurricane Aaron. Now, moving out of the way, didn't quite make a landfall this time around, but we still saw a lot of waves come from it.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, we still have a coastal flood advisory for coastal southwestern Connecticut. But more importantly, if you're going to the Cape and the Islands this weekend, there's still a high surf advisory right through tomorrow night. Dangerous rip currents and high tides across eastern parts of the New England there, across the Cape and the Islands, where 3 to 5, 6 feet waves can continue throughout the weekend. And I know a lot of people are going to be out and about. This is the last, basically, hurrah of the summer. A lot of kids are going back to school next week, so there'll be a lot of vacations, and we got a beautiful weekend on the way.
Sounds like a great time. And as Hurricane Aaron continues to move away from the northeast, rough waters, like Sam mentioned, are impacting parts of the shoreline. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is in Stonington with reactions from surfers.
The waves here in Stonington reached up to 6 feet high as Aaron makes its final push up the east coast. Now, while this water may be tempting for surfers or boogie boarders to go in, folks here in Stonington say they're keeping their distance.
Right now it's quite relaxing. It's kind of nice. We're here playing on the beach with our little son and just kind of enjoying the gentle waves coming through.
Chris Moyer says he and his family are staying away from the water. He says the currents are too strong to risk their safety. Beachgoers aren't the only ones feeling the brunt of the storm. Businesses are taking the proper precautions to steer clear of danger. Ferry services from New London to Block Island have been shut down since Thursday. The waves and current are keeping most boats docked.
Oh, it's definitely a little bit rougher today. It's there's some swells, but and the tide is definitely pushed in. So usually it's pretty calm. Oh, there's people that get in. Well, here it's not so bad, but over, just around the corner there in Watch Hill at Napa Tree, yeah, you don't want to go in there.
As Aaron starts to die off, there is still risk of rip currents. Thomas McCarthy is among those at Stonington Point who aren't taking the plunge in the turbulent seas. He says anyone who plans to hop in should be careful.
Oh yeah, you're going to need to be careful. Yeah, and don't go in where it's really wavy. It's dangerous. Yeah.
I would certainly say be aware, especially rip currents. You can't see them, so just use a lot of caution swimming.
Beachgoers are being reminded to be aware of the risks before they head to the beach. They're being told to always make sure that there's a lifeguard on duty to make sure everything is safe and to be aware of the rip currents. And if you are caught in one, you are being told to swim parallel from the beach to try and escape that rip current. In Stonington, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.